to say hi to everyone. We're going to be in Revelation chapter 9 today. We'd like for y'all to go ahead and turn there. Let's go ahead and let's read the first verse right quick. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. I wanted y'all to kind of notice the proper meaning of the bottomless pit. It's the long shaft, pit, or well of the abyss. We have already seen 2 stars up to this point, and these were literal. These were probably literal stars. These are probably meteors that fell to the earth. But this particular star that we're talking about in verse 1 of chapter 9 it's a different kind of star. This star has an intelligence. It's called him. This is about an unusual individual, I'm thinking. Well, I know. And but it is not a literal star. For one thing, stars don't have an actual intelligence. It says he is given a key. A star cannot hold a key. Nothing inanimate can a star hold. So this particular one is working with an intelligence and all. So we believe that this star is Satan. Some have identified this star as the Antichrist. But let me explain something to you just a little bit. The reason this leads support that it's Satan incarnate is the thing about the Antichrist that we need to understand is that the Antichrist is everything Christ isn't. And you have to understand the Antichrist is motivated by Satan. There's a lot of verses in the Bible that we can reference to kind of enforce this belief of mine. First off, let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah writes, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" Isaiah 14:12. Also Luke writes, "And he, Jesus, said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven." Luke 10:18. Also Paul writes, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. 2 Corinthians 11:14. Also, even in the book of Revelations, as we later on, in chapter 12, 7 and 9, John states, Satan was put out of heaven and cast to earth. So that's why I believe that this particular verse is talking about Satan. This is not the Antichrist. There are some scholars that may believe that. There are some individuals that may believe that. But me personally, I cannot believe that this is the Antichrist. The Antichrist is a normal person. Well, not a normal person, but he's an evil person that's being motivated by Satan. So, therefore, he cannot be the Antichrist. Verse 2. "And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as smoke of great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Out of the shaft smoke will rise up, out of the great furnace." This is more than likely a volcano. This smoke is going to cover the entire earth. It's going to be thick, like fog or like smog. So I do not think that it's going to be during that time. You got to think about it. If it's darkened, if it's a great furnace and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. That tells me this is so much smoke that's coming out of this pit that it is it's blocking out the sun. So that's going to create other issues that we've already discussed, about crops not growing properly and this and that. All right, let's go ahead and let's read verses 3 and 4. There came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and to them were given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. This is a symbolic gesture, I believe. This is describing some very frightening creatures. This is not a common locust that we're talking about here. Primarily, if you look at some of the things that it talks about with this locust, these particular locusts, is they don't eat any green thing or any vegetation. Locusts destroy vegetation. The ones we know will destroy vegetation. These particular ones are not. These regular locusts here, they have no king, but these particular locusts are being controlled and commanded by someone. And also, if you look back at the plagues of Egypt as it was recorded, this is what it said about those locusts. It says, before them there was no such locust, as they neither after them shall be such. It's in Exodus 10:14. So those locusts, that even though they were horrific, these are not the same kind of locusts. These locusts are entirely different. But these are going to be literal creatures. They will resemble lion, horse, scorpions, face of man. They sting like a scorpion. This is all aspects of these particular locusts. These locusts were given a great power. These locusts were able to do things that most locusts could not do. Verse 5. To them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. We know that scorpions have, we know they have a stinger. It's usually, the stinger's located at the tip of their tails. But this stinger's normally, even though it can be uncomfortable and it can cause a great deal of pain and agony, it's normally not fatal. Now, I'm sure there's probably some reasons that it could be fatal to some individuals. They may be allergic, since an insect, similar to a bee. It's similar to an insect with a stinger or bee or wasp or something like that. And as y'all know, some people are allergic to those things, and some people can have a really severe reaction to it. But in most instances, this pain just torments. It's not something that will cause death. All right, verse 6. And in those days shall man seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and thou shalt flee from them. Verse 6. Satan has the key, as y'all know, the long shaft. In the Old Testament, it's called Sheol. In the New Testament, it's called Hades. It leads to the abyss, where the spirits of the past dead of the ages have gone. This is when the Lord Jesus went to announce the redemption that he wrote on the cross. Satan does not want this crowd to die, but ironically, this is the crowd that is attacked mostly. But let's think about a volcano for just a moment. As we know, a volcano has a center point. We will look at that as the abyss. Okay? As y'all know, if you look at your scientific pictures of these volcanoes, there's always a big, humongous pool or chamber of magma. Now, this magma, as time progresses, it starts, it gains pressure, it keeps going pressure, it keeps on gaining pressure, till eventually it starts seeping up through the shaft or the shaft of the volcano. So it's seeping up through this shaft. So with time, it spreads, and with time, because of the pressure that is building up, it explodes. And so this is that's a good example of how we could kind of view this. Something else about this particular verse that is kind of shocking. The people of this time won't be able to die. They will want to, but they cannot. Satan is wanting them to remain, even though there's a war raging between light and darkness. They thank God, some thank God is stopping them from dying. Because sinful man must face the consequences of God's judgment. Possible. But as we know, it's completely controlled by Satan at this time. So, it could be God, it could be Satan trying to sustain these people. It's kind of hard to say. It's not really stated here, I don't think. But, it's just, it's all in how you look at it. The torment that during the tribulation that people are going to be going through, it's going to be horrendous. The unfortunate thing is that they have to go through this. And it saddens me to think that human beings like myself will suffer like this. It really does bother me greatly. Again, the importance of what we're talking about it's just so important to me. But let's go ahead and let's read 7 through 10. This will be the next section of verses. 7 through 10. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were the faces of men. They had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were teeth of lions, as the teeth of lions. They had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron. The sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots, and many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions. There were stings in their tails. Their power was to hurt men 5 months. Again, this is a very frightful description of what these creatures look like. This is not normal. It says they are prepared to horses, equipped with armor. Their faces resemble men. The antenna of the locust are compared to a girl's hair. Their teeth, in Joel 1:6, are like lions. Breastplates of iron. The sound of wings make the sound of many chariots and horses going to war. The quantity would be unnumbered. It would be so much. Some people today refer to these as airplanes, with their bombardier in the rear. But we use jets mostly today, although there are some propelled planes that use propellers that we still use today. C-130 is one of them. And it can be, turned into a gunship and this and that. But I just have a hard time thinking that this is being so far in the future that this is going to be planes as we know today. Some compare the locusts to missiles. I particularly feel that this is going to be something we have never seen. But we're going to be the lucky ones. The church is already going to be out off the earth. We're already going to be raptured into heaven. Even though we'll be watching all this, we'll be safe. Those people that were not sealed and those people that remain on the earth are going to suffer through this. And I know all this is speculative, but I really do think that these particular weapons that we are discussing are going to be created by God. I think it's going to be something that unlike we have ever seen. I do not think there's anything like this could be in the world today. But what's really sad about this, and please remember this, remember the power is to hurt man for 5 months. So could you imagine the torment that the people of earth are going to have to go through at this time? Could you imagine the pain and agony that is going to occur? Me personally, I have a tough time settling for this happening to other people. Especially when I know that we could do better in a lot of aspects of our worship today and this and that. I really do think that we need to be concentrating and remember. That's why I think this verse, this particular book in the Bible is so important. Yes, we won't be here, I know. But we need to understand it. And that's what we're hoping to do here. All right, let's go ahead and let's do verse 11. They had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pits, whose name in Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in Greek tongue his name is Apollyon. All right. That's why I said these locusts are different. I said they have a king. They have somebody that's in charge of them. It's mentioned in Proverbs 3, 30, 27. The locusts we know about today, they don't have a king. They just do what they do. This particular king is one of the fallen angels. He's a chief henchman for Satan. He's leading an invasion of the earth for the first time. So very frightening. He is also named in Hebrew Abaddon, or Abaddon, or something. I believe it's, I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced, but which means destruction. And in Greek, it is Apollyon, which means destroyer. So this is not just anyone or any of Satan's servants. This is going to be a very high-ranking fallen angel that is a henchman for Satan. In other words, he is in control of Satan. Or Satan controls him, excuse me. He answers to Satan. He answers to nobody else. So this tells me that this is going to be an awful, awful occurrence. And it's going to be something that is going to be very frightening. I'm going to end today at that. Next time we'll be starting in the next verse, which will be verse 12. And we finish up chapter 9 next time. God bless. We love you.